Okay, we're going to look back at this concept that I wrote about a while back called technical debt. Been thinking a lot about it again recently, but in a slightly different way. So originally, when we talked about technical debt, I was writing about my husband, who's a software engineer. We all know this at this point, and how differently he and I approach problems and fixing things. His instinct is always to slow things down and build something correctly the first time. And if I'm being honest, my instinct is always to do the opposite. I like movement. I like momentum. I like solving immediate problems and figuring out cleanup later or never cleaning things up. It's pretty common in business owners, in entrepreneurs, and salespeople. Speed gets rewarded in our industry, and so we prioritize what moves things forward. And that's generally the right call. But what I've been noticing a lot recently is that a lot of teams, they're not struggling because they don't know what to do. It's that they're struggling because they keep making these little micro decisions that prioritize immediate relief over the long-term structure, stability, and ease of the business. So these decisions, they look completely non-dramatic in the moment. These are just little, it's fine, I'll just do this, we'll just do this and keep rolling forward. But this, in the processes that they're doing, they technically work. So no one raises like a massive red flag. Deals are still closing. We're still getting good revenue. So it doesn't appear to be something that's urgent that needs to be fixed either. Because nothing is like on fire or breaking, the trade-off feels completely worth it at first. But we have to look over the long haul to see where this actually shows up. Technical debt rarely shows up all at once. It's going to surface later, usually as friction. More decisions are going to end up sitting with you as the leader. Problems that were supposed to be solved start resurfacing again in slightly different ways. The business is still functioning. Again, you're still getting revenue, but it becomes a whole lot heavier to operate. And that's the version of technical debt that people tend to miss, is that the cost isn't usually total collapse. It's a gradual shift from a business that runs with a sense of like ease and understanding to one that is requiring way more lift from everyone involved. But because, again, production is still happening, it's easy to normalize, especially for high performers who are motivated by that external, everything looks fine motivation. Eventually, though, you are going to feel it. And it's not going to feel like a dramatic failure or like this like massive collapse. It's going to feel like a drag. It's going to feel like this sense that everything is requiring more of you than it used to, and you're going to feel exhausted. If you're trying to find out like where might this technical debt be showing up, it's looking for those places where things feel heavier. Not necessarily broken, just heavier. So where are people more overly dependent on you or your operations team, or things are falling through the cracks? Those are usually the places where things have been patched instead of intentionally built. Unfortunately, paying that down rarely feels productive in the short term. It's going to mean stopping. It means rebuilding something correctly, which can feel wildly uncomfortable when what you're used to is to move quickly. But over time, this discomfort that you're feeling, it's a signal that you have to be aware of, that things may be working, but just not as cleanly as they could be. And remember, what we're building here is not a business that thrives and succeeds for just 1 year. We're looking to build a business that's sustainable over the long haul. And so if we have these small fissures in your foundation that are causing things to be unsteady, unstable, we have to slow down and address them. Maybe you're not the best person to focus in on how these changes need to be made as well. So think through who in my organization is like Leah's husband, is the software engineer, is the person who wants to do things right the first time, and how can I empower them to help slow me down to make sure that the things that are flaws in my business that drive me up the wall are actually getting fixed. Take a beat, pause, think through it.